I'm going to quickly walk through how to actually work in the GHX process. So I'm working within a particular's account. I'm in a UAT and test environment, so we're not going to hurt anything here. But I'm going to go ahead and first off start off with, I'm going to come into the grower. I'm going to select on that grower, and I'm going to go ahead and look at game plan. We'll see some grower information here that should all be coming over from crop edge. So all that information is coming over from crop edge except for those acres mapped. So I'm going to click on game plan. We're going to use our traditional game plan, and I'm going to do a new game plan for this particular user, for this particular grower. Once I've come in here, I've got my fields mapped. There is a plus button here usually to actually map additional fields if that user needed to map more fields. I'm going to go ahead and select, multiple fields here that I want to utilize within a particular game plan. And I'm going to click on Run Game Plan. Now I'm actually just going to continue to confirm these fields. I'm going to select Next, and then I'm going to get into a workflow of actually selecting which products that I actually want to utilize. So I'm going to narrow up my maturity range for this particular grower of what he would actually plant within his area. So we can narrow up that maturity range to whatever we see fit. This is going to be a reduced list based upon the geography of where that seed advisor is working within. Let's say that we wanted to have 3 different varieties on this particular solution. We're going to be using Golden Harvest corn. And so we've got that selected, and we've got our maturity range all narrowed up. So I'm going to go ahead and click Next. Now this is going to run. While that's running and pulling in the soils data and running that prescription of where those products are gonna go, as you can see, it's already completed. I'm going to go ahead and maybe just do another crop plan. So I see the fields that are in the corn. I can do the next, crop that I want to do. Maybe that's enogen, maybe that's some silage acres of corn, or maybe it's just some soybeans. So let's go ahead and click Next. We've got some fields selected. I'm going to go with my crop as soybeans here for this case, and let's go with maybe we want 3 varieties on that particular this particular solution, and then we'll narrow up our maturity range that we see fit to utilize. So we've got a list of products that it's going to look at and basically utilize from a placement perspective. Once this is going to run in the background, I can go ahead and edit the corn plan. I can select the product trait stack that I need for this particular grower. But we've already decided on which products are going to be worked within for these fields. So based upon our data, these products are showing as strongly suited products for this for these fields and for this geography. Looking at soils, weather data, and overall product performance data. So I can go ahead and select on a particular, I can start to zoom in and select on a field. We're selected on a field. We're going to see our planting rates are going to be differentiated by hybrid. So they will automatically adjust by hybrid. And they should actually look different between fields. So I have 08D29. And then I also see a different field was at a different population, even with that same product. So based upon the soils data on that field, it's going to look at that and it's going to place a population really conducive. And these fields are side by side, and we're also seeing a different population rated for them. So great component there to really try to hone in on what population we should be utilizing. There is some other factors here. We could look at emergence scores and other pieces, but we're focusing on match strength for this case. We can save any adjustments that we have to our plan, letting us know that we've successfully saved that. And we can go ahead and just come back. We want to exit this crop plan and come back to our overall game plan to work within our overall game plan solution. Now that we're looking at this overall game plan solution, we can see corn and soybeans. We could definitely make any edits we needed to soybeans. For time's sake, I'm going to skip over that. Now what's probably taking place is this user's going up and they're downloading this PDF. So once they've downloaded this PDF, they can click submit. They're going to get an output component. They can review this output. They can take a look at what the pricing is based upon the area that person's within is going to automatically bring that pricing component in, the acres that we needed for that, and the seeding rates that were adjusted for each individual field, and then what our total price is. So let's come back to the game plan. That person's gone out, they've had that conversation with that grower. The grower says, yep, this plan looks great. I want to do this plan. Please order me this seed. So what we need to do now is we actually want to say, this is the committed to plan. We want to save that to the work order. So that user would come back into the system, open up this particular plan that was created, and then just go ahead and click on that save to work order. Once that user saved it to the work order, we're going to go ahead and come back to the work order here. I'm going to go ahead and select the work order side of the business. We're going to see the product recommendations showing up here that were recommended on those individual fields, and we can look at the farm or the individual fields that we have. So we can look at the farms and those individual fields. We could review anything. We could even still make tweaks and adjustments within the work order if we needed to. But once we've got that plan kind of suited the way we want it, we can go ahead and click on quote. What quote's going to actually allow us to do is start looking at package type. So now that we've got a good plan in place for what those fields are going to need, now we can go ahead and select the paper bags or the cubits that we need. So we have a particular situation where a cubit works out really well for this particular package type. So we're going to say 1 cubit. And then we're going to go ahead and select paper bags maybe for these other units that were needed. The user can maybe do a 1 or 2 bag overage if needed on a particular product. So to kind of make sure that we have enough units to finish out that field as we're going through. From a soybean side of it, we do need to make sure we select our trait stack, or excuse me, our seed treatment. So I'm going to go ahead and select maybe just untreated in this particular situation. So we have our soybeans seed treatments selected. So I've got 2 of them selected here. If we had any other units that we needed to actually select a seed treatment, we can go ahead and do that. So I'm not going to go ahead and select all of them here for this particular demo, but we could select the package type that we need. So maybe we wanted 2 cubits, and then we would needed an additional 6 bags for this particular product. Now this product is a roll-up of the field, and so all of these fields down here are going to show you how many units are needed for the particular field, and the unit ordering is on a rolled up scale. Once we've made all of our adjustments to what we want this quote to be, we can go ahead and send to Crop Edge, and that button won't be grayed out at that point. You can go ahead and send that over to Crop Edge.